everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for today, we are going to be testing out a whole bunch of new Shop Miss A makeup that I purchased. This is the look that we did already, but I wanted you guys to know a couple things before we do the video. So I did not buy a highlighter from Shop Miss A. I do not like them. I did not buy a mascara from them because the one that I wanted was out of stock, and I don't like the old one that they had in stock. What else? Oh, a lip gloss. I just used an Essence one because I do not like Shop Miss A's like lip formula for the most part either. So those are the three things, the three big things I wanted you to know that I did not purchase that are other brands. They are like Essence though, so it's not like they're crazy expensive. These things, like Shop Miss A says that they sell everything for $1. Most of these were not $1. Most of them were like $1.55, $1.88, and they go to like different charities. So they have their A+ charity, which is an education charity, their Paw Paw, which is an animal shelter charity, the A+ charity, which is an education charity. So if you're buying these and you see like that $1.88 or whatever, know that the change is going to a charity. There was one thing, that's like $2 or $3. It doesn't go to a charity. This is Shop Miss A's like prestige line, I guess you could say. It was like $4, so it's not crazy expensive. But if you also go on their website, they have like their AOA Studio, the A2O Lab, which despite what they say is not a new line. It's been around for a while. And if anybody would know, this chick would know. I've been buying from Shop Miss A since I was like 20. And then they have their Pro line. I didn't buy anything from the Pro line. I don't really think that it needed to be a Pro line. I think that they just did it so that they could charge more money for the same products. Like, that's my conspiracy, my thought, my theory. I didn't buy anything from the Pro line. But yeah, that is everything I wanted you to know before we get into the video. So let's go see a jump scare channel. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be trying from Shop Miss A is their Cosmic Cowgirl Skin Grip Primer, because I really do enjoy a grippy primer. I either enjoy, there's two types of primers I enjoy. Ones that go on and feel like lotion, or grippy primers. One thing that like Miss A does with everything that I don't think is necessarily needed is they send everything in this extra layer of plastic that I don't think is needed. I really don't. This is a nice little squeezy tube. It is 0.07 fluid ounces. Oh no, excuse me, 0.67 fluid ounces. So it's almost one full fluid ounce. It looks to be about average size for a primer. So also I don't know where my mirror went, which is why I'm using this compact. But we're gonna put it right here, and then on my nose. Just areas where I typically prime. And yes, I'm having an active breakout again right now. I was doing so good, and then I did so bad. And now I'm trying to do good again, and it's just not happening currently. This does have fragrance, so if you don't like fragrance, be aware of that, because it's not like a bad fragrance. It smells like a scented lotion, which maybe isn't something you necessarily want to be putting on your face. And I'm not seeing any grip. Maybe once it dries a little bit more, it'll be a little bit grippy. So we're gonna do our brows next, I guess. And for brows, I have the Easy Brow Styler in the shade Ebony and a tinted brow fixer. These are both from the A+ line. If you've watched any of my other videos on Shop Miss A, you already know what those are, but if not, I'm sure I will have explained in the intro. Bear is growling. Or not growling, he's barking at the neighbor's dog again. So if you can hear the dog barking, I'm sorry. Okay. So here's the brow styler, or the brow fixer. Okay, so the brow fixer kind of looks like that NYX thing where it has the fluffy brush, and then you have your product. And then this is the brow. Holy shit. Look at that one. That is so big. Why is it so big? It's supposed to be like a brow gel. Tinted brow fix gel. Yeah. Why would you make the wand that large? Okay, whatever. I guess we'll find out. It broke. Do you see that? It broke. Okay, you guys. So far, we're not off to the greatest start. That Cosmic, like, grippy powder or primer doesn't do anything. Like, it's not grippy or anything. It's almost powdery on my skin. Like, it dried down to a powder finish. But I don't think I like it. The only... It didn't even really do that. I was gonna say it kind of blurred my pores a little bit, but not really. I mean, we'll see how foundation goes on over it. But brow product wise, I don't mind this. The brow styler. This I think is stupid. Look at what, I mean, like, you guys saw it. It went like everywhere. I had to take my cellar water on like cotton rounds and clean it up a little bit. And they're still not how I normally wear them. I wear my brows thick, right? But they don't normally look like fucking caterpillars when I'm done. So I'm not the biggest fan of this or this right now. So we'll see how that goes. The next thing we're going to do is do foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to be trying out the AOA Studio Complexion Liquid Foundation Pure. It honestly just looks like a BB cream or a CC cream. I got it in the shade L1, which is the lightest shade they had. And just do we'll go like that and see where it gets us. And then for brushes, I did get like their rainbow brush set. This is technically 4 of them combined, but the thing I was really curious about is the A2O Lab Cloud Sponge. So it's like a powder puff, but it's a spongy bit on this side. So I kind of want to see what this does with like liquid and cream products and see how far, and it doesn't go very far. I literally swallowed the amount of product that I had on my face. yeah, I'm gonna go in with a brush and a little bit more product. So this is the AOA Studio Rainbow brush set. I'm gonna be using the foundation brush. I like how these look. They just look really fancy, which is why I kind of like them a little bit. We'll do a little bit like that, just because I do already have some coverage on my cheeks, just not enough for me. Oh yeah. Brush. Way better. Way, way better. Ooh. Okay, I like that foundation because it is offering, like, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but like, look at how glowy my skin is. I like that a lot. We're gonna try their Locked Creamy Concealer in the shade LC1, which is like light cool one. This might be a little bit pink for me, but I honestly don't really care at this point. Because I'm so pale that it doesn't really matter. And this is like a creamy concealer, so a little bit should go a long way. But it has a doe foot applicator. It's almost like a lip gloss thing, not gonna lie. Like, the packaging on this is very much so giving me lip gloss vibes. It is a very light shade though, I will give it that. Very light, which I like. And because it is such a tiny applicator, it does make it a little bit easier to go down the center of the face. Like that. So I'm gonna we'll blend out this side first and see how it goes. Okay, so it covered. I mean, you can see the difference between this eye and this eye. This eye is definitely brighter, which I like. So it does that. It's not the most full coverage either, because when I look in the mirror, like right here, I can still see some darkness. Not as bad as this side. So it did conceal something, just not everything. So what I'm going to do on top of that then is go in with their stick concealer in the shade Porcelain. And we'll try that out. Yep. We're going to try this one out. Okay. So this one is like it's a stick concealer. So I'm going to warm it up a little bit on the back of my hand a little bit. Just like that. And then fully. And we'll even cover up my eyelids. Like that. Oops. Nope, this way. And then weird. Okay, so these two concealers don't play nicely together. It worked really well, like, on my eyelids. I don't know if you guys can see the difference or not, but, like, right here, it lifted everything underneath it. So I'm just going to go back in with the liquid concealer and do this again. And hope and pray that it works. And let's go in with a smaller brush, too. Okay, so that worked. Do you see the difference? Like, this whole area is so much darker than this one now. So I'm gonna go do this side really quick as well, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I did my concealer. Now the next thing I want to do is set my face. So I have the AOA Studio Flawless Setting and Finishing Loose Powder. Now, you guys, this to me, just like, look at the packaging. And then, I don't know if you guys can see, it's different colors. So this almost reads like they're just trying to dupe the Givenchy Prism powder, whatever the heck it's called. And this is tiny. Like, this is tiny. Like, look at it. It's like the size of a couple quarters. Shit. It came partially busted open. Like, the seal for the powder didn't take all the way. But it's not actually open because I'm having to fight to get this stinking seal off. Okay. But I guess let's try it. So here's the powder. And then I'm going to take their puff, because I do have a puff. And I'm going to press powder into the puff. Kind of disperse it a little bit better on the back of my hand. That's what's there. And then just set my under eye with that. I like the puff. I'm not quite sure about the powder yet. Obviously, like, it takes time. I will say it did smooth stuff pretty good looking in my mirror right here. That primer does nothing though, so we will be discussing that at the end. I should have brought a little trash baggie with me. Let's do cream bronzer. This is the Venetian Romance Creamy Bronzer in the shade Vienna. It's in this little pot. It looks like a MAC paint pot. I did already open it and swatch it. So we're going to take... What brush do we want to use? This brush is a little bit large, But we're just gonna try and get the brush pretty evenly coated. Like so, and then I'm just gonna kind of tap it out a little bit on my hand and begin to bronze with it. Again, there is a fragrance to this, so if you don't like fragrance, you're not gonna like this. And I have a feeling I'm gonna end up going in with my foundation brush. Just to kind of blend out the bronzer a little bit, because it worked really well on my forehead, but on my cheeks it needs a little bit of help. And it's a little bit too warm. It's pulling kind of orange. It's not like too bad yet, but I think that's because I only went in with the tiniest little bit of product and not like a full-blown type thing like I normally would. Like, you guys have seen me apply cream bronzer before. Normally I go in. I'm just gonna take my concealer brush, grab a little bit on my concealer brush, tap that out because I do want to use it to kind of do my nose. Like that. So, I mean, it's there, it bronzed, it's pulling a little bit orange, which is not something that I particularly love. Maybe if you're more warm toned than I am, it would work. I thought I was like really warm toned. I find I'm like a neutral warm, so I need a little bit more coolness. So this was just a touch more gray, like, or less orange. I think it would be a beautiful product because the formula seems really nice. And then we're gonna grab another brush, exactly the same as the one that we used for the bronzer. It's the exact same thing, because now we're gonna go into the Venetian Romance Creamy Blush in the shade Duchess. As you can see, it's sealed. I haven't used this one yet. Oops. Just like that. And we're going to, this is like a nice berry pinky color, like a, it's like a raspberry tone. And tap it out in the back of my hand. Again with the fragrance, like they could have not had this be fragranced and I would have been so much better for it. Like, I think it would be just, this is pigmented. This is very pigmented. Holy shit. And I did not even grab that much, but do you guys see it is fucking pigmented? Okay, so there's the blush. It did blend out quite nicely. I did need to use a foundation brush. So with both the bronzer and the blush, less is more, and maybe use smaller brushes than what I have here because they don't fit into how small these are. Like, to give you an idea of the size of these are about the same size as a MAC paint pot. The inside pan is a little bit bigger, but like the overall component is about the same size. So there's that. And then we are going to set the rest of the face. So I'm going to grab a powder brush and the powder that we have left out. And just kind of set everything. So there's that. It's nice, it's set. It doesn't feel like my skin has dried out a whole lot, which is nice because a lot of powders will dry me out a little bit, like, or at least some. It is completely set, and that was pretty quick. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take the puff and kind of just press everything in a little bit more. And looking, that foundation's been on for about 20 minutes now. I will say it looks really nice. As of right now, it's not settling into any place that doesn't normally settle. So like right here, it's settling a little bit. Foundation does that. If you have creases there, it's going to. That concealer is not settling into any of my really fine lines. Like, it's settling into lines, but I have lines there. I'm almost 30. So I do have lines there. It's cool. It's fine. It looks really nice. Now, for powder, blush, and bronzer, I do have one of their compacts in the Hello Define Duo Blush and Contour in the shade Yes, or Yas, like YA instead of YE, and then drag out the S's. Come on. Get with the plastic. And I'm just gonna use the powder brush that I used earlier to just kind of pick some of, because that's a contour shade. That's like a nice, not even really contour shade, but like a nice bronzer. So we are just going to use that to kind of enhance the bronzer that we already have going on and to make it look less orange. There's that. And then for blush or blush, I'm just going to take the exact same brush again and go into the other side of that component. There's cat hair on my brushes already. And just okay, see, that looks cute. It looks like I've spent some time outside, maybe in the winter, because my cheeks are very flushed, very bright. We love to see it. Moving on to the eyes. I did not buy any matte eyeshadows from Shop Miss A. I don't really care for their matte eyeshadow formula. I just don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a brush. Find one. That'll hurt. I'm just gonna take a brush and I'm gonna go into the contour shade that we used for the bronzer and just kind of put a little something on my eyes really quick before, oh shit, before we go in with like the cream eyeshadow. Okay, so I took that bronzer and I put it all the way into my crease and then also underneath my eyes just to smoke out the lash line. For the actual eyeshadow, I have there, what the hell? Oh, dog hair. Where's my other one at? I have the Venetian Romance Creamy Eyeshadow in the shade Moreau. And these are very similar, I would say, to the ColourPop Super Shock shadow in both packaging, because like this is the exact same component, it's just a little bit bigger and a different color. And a very similar formula to ColourPop. So I'm just going to take my finger with this and put it on to my eyelid, because we're just gonna do a very simple look today. Like, I'm not trying to break the books here with this. Simple but elegant, except for the eyebrows apparently. So that is the eye look. It's very pretty. Like, that shade is really nice. I like how it feels. It's not heavy. It's not chunky. It's just like a very smooth cream sparkly eyeshadow, which I like. Now, I'm gonna go put on mascara because I do not have one from Shop Miss A. I don't really like their mascara. The one that was new that I wanted to try was out of stock, so I'm just gonna put on an Essence one. So for highlighter, I didn't buy a new highlighter from them. I'm just going to be using a cream eyeshadow that they have in Crystal Visions, because it is like a really pretty like white highlighter. I'm going to use my finger for this, and we're just going to tap it on the bridge of the nose, because I've tried their normal highlighters before. They're not bad. It's just they're also not my favorite anymore either. That looks so pretty. Okay. So then we're going to take a highlighting brush and just see if we can make this work. Got the product. And yep, there it is. There it is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There it is. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. So lip liner is the only lip product I bought as well. I don't really care for their lip products either. And I don't know. I think I might be leaning a little bit away from Shop Miss A, because not even because I don't like them anymore. I do. Like, obviously I do. I just spent like $150 freaking there. But they're kind of being like a little bit shady. In my opinion, they're saying like a bunch of things are new. They're not new. They just put them in new packaging. Or yeah, basically they just put them in new packaging, because like they have the whole A2O Lab line that they're saying is their new line. It's not new. It's been there for like 6 years, and I've been buying Shop Miss A for a long time. Like, you can go back on my channel and there are Shop Miss A videos. So this is the gel lip liner in the shade Boots. This one is part of the Paw Paw line. And we're just gonna that's not good. It broke. Like, the tip broke. So I don't know about that either, especially since I don't have a sharpener on me right now. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, I just put on an Essence gloss to kind of help fix it a little bit, but let's discuss everything that we tried. So, the brushes. We love the brushes. We kind of already knew that. I've tried Miss A brushes before, and they're really, really good. I enjoy them. What else? This little blusher bronzer compact. I enjoyed this as well. It's nicely pigmented without being super crazy. It is a little bit powdery, so keep that in mind. But like, the bronzer worked really well as like a transition shade. So I quite enjoy that. The lip liner is dry. I did sharpen it. It's still kind of dry. It broke again. So, and it's a gel liner. It should not be that dry. So there's my thought on that. The Venetian Romance cream eyeshadows. I love those. Like, that's really sparkly. You guys saw, like, I used the one as a highlighter. We love that. The Venetian Rose bronzer and blush. I'm going to give these another shot because they are nicely pigmented. After letting that bronzer sit here for a while, I'm not going to say like it changed colors because it didn't, but it's not as orange as I thought it was. So maybe if I use a smaller brush and put on less product at a time, because even with me like tapping off, it still went on really pigmented. So we'll try that. This is nice. I like this a lot. It's medium coverage, like light to medium coverage. You can still kind of see, my blemishes and stuff, but it's definitely like covered something. I like the concealer, this liquid locked creamy concealer. I like this. I like this one as well, the stick concealer that I tried. I enjoy this as well. It's a little bit fuller coverage. It worked really well as an eye base. We love that. The powder, it worked. I think it could be like maybe a little bit bigger. I realize that's only $1.88, but it was so hard to open because of the plastic being like all the way around. I think it could be a little bit bigger. And then, I don't know. I just think it could be a little bit larger, and then I would be okay with it. There's my thoughts on that. Oh, wait. Okay. This brow product, I love. I really enjoyed this. Where did the puff go? The little triangular powder puff. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. It was very nice. It went on very, like, it applied really nicely. This. I really like this quite a bit. I actually really love this. On to, like, the misses. This A2O Lab, like, cloud sponge thing. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to do. It didn't do anything. It just swallowed the product. This is supposed to be a gripping primer. It does not grip. It dries down into, like, a powder finish. So I don't know what that was supposed to do. This, like, the end broke off. You guys saw that, I think, as long as I don't take it out of editing. But then, like, it bent as well. And the bristles are so long. Like, how are you supposed to fill in your brows like that? It makes it too big. I had to take, like, my cellar water and a cotton round and wipe off around the brows. Because when I tell you I had product up to here, I am not kidding. It was ridiculous. So, for the most part, there were more hits than misses, but there were some pretty solid misses for pretty solid reasons. If you guys like this video, please do not forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I would very much greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, I will see you all in my next one. Goodbye.